In the famous book Ignite the Light, Vicky Sabini said, I believe that to teach children effectively, you must first touch their hearts long before you touch their minds. A pleasant morning to each and everyone. Ladies and gentlemen, I will tell you about how will I teach multicultural and social literacy in English class. Do you ever hear of the terms multicultural and social literacy? Multicultural and social literacy has increased in all nations around the world in recent years. But the question is, how this has become so relevant and how this type of education has an impact on teachers. What effect does it have in my students? What strategies will I use to teach multicultural and social literacy to my English class? What interventions will I put in place? Multicultural literacy is the ability to recognize and appreciate the similarities and differences between your culture's customs, values, and beliefs, and those of another culture. On the other hand, social literacy refers to a student's ability to perform and comprehend social, organizational, and communication skills. It is a student's ability to communicate efficiently with others. Interacting with friends, families, colleagues, teachers, and even people we haven't met face-to-face is all part of social literacy. Multicultural literacy and social literacy in education can assist students in developing the skills, attitudes, and commitments necessary to become people who advocate for social justice in their communities and around the world. When the world becomes more diverse, there is a need for multicultural education that is more reflective of today's students to widen their perspectives in life. When I had the opportunity to observe students during their class hours, way back when I was in second year, I have noticed that some of my students do not embody good manners. Clearly, the students were never taught these basic yet significant behaviors. This is why we need to address this, because this is a serious problem. Because of the growing trend of hundreds of countries coming together to negotiate the widespread use of different languages, racial development, and acceptance of different ethnicities, multicultural literacy and social literacy must be developed and incorporated in the classroom. As teachers, we are responsible for our students' education. Education nowadays encompasses the entire child, not just academics. As a future educator, have you ever asked yourself these questions? How will I teach multicultural literacy and social literacy in my classroom? What possible strategies and activities will I put in place? To teach multicultural and social literacy, we must remember these four: understand student learning styles, value life experiences, establish a good relationship with students, and be aware of biases. First, having a thorough understanding of their learning styles. With this, teachers can promote equitable learning by allowing students to learn in their ways. Second, value life experiences to help students share and to validate students' experiences and help them gain new insights into life. Third one is to establish a good relationship with students. With that, students can demonstrate their skills well and learn best if they are comfortable expressing their thoughts based on their language. Lastly, to be aware of biases, meaning teachers should work towards dissipating them and should be taught the student to recognize inequities and remind them that there is no superior culture over others. In teaching social and multicultural literacy in my future English class, I will give activities that are in line with the curriculum. I will ensure a culture-sensitive class and develop students' experiences and steer their minds by allowing them to collaborate with their peers in brainstorming their ideas that will be useful in their work. Since I will be teaching multicultural and social literacy, I will present a variety of books in my classroom that will discuss different cultures. In that way, I can introduce multicultural literacy and help my students be aware of other cultures and appreciate it. Also, I will set requirements for my students like writing a speech about their own culture and present it in the class so that they can also improve their social literacy or make a portfolio showcasing their different cultures and provide caption for each. Hold events inside the classroom like a culture day where they can bring in any certain foods and come together in demonstrating the dances and songs of their own culture. To teach my students social literacy skills, I will encourage them to work in groups or in any activities that will enable them to practice social skills such as teamwork, goal setting, and responsibility. As for their culminating activity, I will require them to role-play social situations so that they can learn new concepts and lessons, not just merely about knowing the basic structures of English or the correct use of grammar. But we teachers must also teach them social skills. I will also teach my students to interact with their peers, for them to learn how to communicate with and respect. With this, they in turn build self-confidence. Thinking about how should I teach this to my learners perplexes me, as I have to be creative and innovative. I must devise strategies and methods for incorporating learning materials, activities, and lessons while keeping my students' beliefs and traditions in mind. I need to be more culturally sensitive because my students come from different cultures and are unique in many ways, which means they also have a diverse attitude that is anchored with their environment. Most especially, I need to teach my students the very important thing above all, and it is their behavior, and inculcate in their minds the word respect. As we all know, teaching is more than instructing or giving information towards the students. Teachers have the very important responsibility. It takes a lot of courage, confidence, self-discipline, time management, and flexibility. Teachers should strive for excellence, someone who always motivates students to do their best, while at the same time teaching them how to value their own culture. When we talk about teaching, it means embracing your students' differences, cultures, and attitudes to establish a relationship, to help them boost their intelligence and skills. Reminding that no matter what differences the students bring to the classroom, their uniqueness flows throughout in such a positive energy that embraces, respects, and promotes learning. Both teachers and students need to be multicultural and socially literate to better understand the views of various cultures and grow into responsible citizens who appreciate other people's perspectives, taking into our hearts that the best way to teach students is to touch their hearts, to educate their minds. Teaching them to love education so much that they will be eager to study because they know that they are accepted, belong, and most especially loved. God bless and thank you.